Hey buds, I'm your host Sam.
And I'm your co-host Ozzy.
And this is Kush and Crime Cold Edition.
Cold Edition.
Welcome back to another episode of Kush and Crime. Thank you for joining us and thank you for being patient
Thank you.
Even though we both sound like this.
Yep.
So you wanted content?
Now you know how we talk when we're sick. Yeah,
you wanted a husky voice, Sam. You got it.
Oh, this is nothing to old grandma over there.
Yeah. Don't talk to me, okay?
She was talking like that for a couple days.
Oh my gosh, I had to leave work. I literally could not speak. I was like, I have to go. I'm sorry. Being in customer service and having to talk when you're sick is very hard.
Dude, definitely. There's so many times I'm holding in a cough just so I can finish my sentence.
Luckily for me, most of my work is on the phone, so I can have a mute button. And so if you hear sniffles, if you hear coughing, if you hear random audio cutting out weirdly, because we're dying for.
Well, I'm actually getting better.
Well, I'm dying.
She's recovering.
I'm on the uphill battle now. Yesterday and the day before were pretty bad.
Yeah, like I got sick like literally like first, and then I gave it to her. I gave her the vid.
It wasn't the vid actually though. He got tested.
Yep, it's not the vid.
We didn't have the vid, but we are.
I had to because of my job though, which is kind of cruel. Well, not cool, but like weird how the different protocols are down here versus in up north.
Yeah. I know a certain place that once one person had COVID, nobody said anything to anybody.
Well, I've already worked in places like that already.
That's what I was referring to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a lovely job where we had to find out by ourselves who had COVID and who didn't.
Mm-hmm. And if
the
you were
manager
exposed,
would not care.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very lovely.
Yeah, that was fucked up, honestly.
Yep. But I'm not going to bash that because we don't like to bash companies, so.
No, we don't. And I could say a lot more mean things than that about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I left just because I was miserable every day.
Yep. And also we moved here, so.
Yeah.
There was that.
Don't regret it, though. Mm-hmm. I understand. There's a different pay grade, but I rather this than the other one.
Mm-hmm. Today we are going to be talking about our strain of the day, and I'm going to be telling you a story about the first time I got high, because I was telling my dad earlier, and I don't know if I told Ozzy this. I think I might have, but it's just a funny story, so we're going to tell that. So Ozzy, without further ado, would you like to take us away with the strain of the day?
Take away, Ivory Man. Zookies. Ooh. Zookies.
Sounds like zucchini.
Yeah. But I was thinking about like more like animal crackers, Zookies. It sounds like it. Because it's a zoo, but it's a cracker.
It's a zoo, but it's a cracker?
This is why.
You mean a cookie?
This is why I can't function.
Is it okay? But is it a cookie or is it actually a cracker? Because it doesn't have the consistency of a cracker.
It's almost like an animal cracker.
Is that what you meant?
Possibly. I can't really laugh because of my freaking throat.
Okay, so it's Zookies, which reminds you of a zoo and a cracker. But go ahead.
I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. Zookies is a hype. Why?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Alright. Zookies is a hybrid marijuana strain made by the crossing of animal I hate you.
I'm trying so hard not to. Couldn't help it.
That's why you were laughing. Because animal cracker.
Yes.
Are you gonna keep all this?
I'm keeping this for a blooper reel. Okay, continue.
Mind you, I didn't know that this was made out of animal crackers.
I read the description before because he told me what strain he was using, so it literally killed me when he was like, because it's a zoo.
Listen, I didn't know this was made out of animal cracker.
Yeah.
So I felt pretty smart. All right? I literally felt like, oh, damn, I'm smart on this.
Okay.
Anyways, Zookies is a hybrid marijuana strain made by the crossing of animal crackers and original glue. The results of a level-headed strain that is as delicious as it is potent. The strain has a unique terpene profile, aroma, and flavor in a sweet, nutty cookies and a hint of diesel. Zookies is a great choice for someone looking for a strong high without getting stuck in the couch like a little liquid.
That's true, because that tends to be my problem, honestly.
That's me too. That's why I don't like to go out in public after I smoke. We just stay home and play video games.
Yeah. Honestly, guys, the husky voice is back because I just died laughing so hard and I coughed a lot. So I hope you're ready for it. It's like Phoebe's sick voice when she's like, smelly cat.
Smelly cat.
What? No. Oh, they're feeding you.
All right. Let's cut the shenanigans.
All right. So let's talk about the first time I ever got high. I don't know if I told you this story. So I had smoked. I was a little too young, so we won't say how old. But I had smoked 2 times before this already. I was in high school. Let's say that at least. So I had smoked 2 times before this already. But this is the first time I got high. So the street I lived on.
And then I got high.
So the street I lived on, there was like a bunch of kids. Like we lived like within a mile vicinity. And Ozzy's been obviously to my family's home. So he kind of knows like it's a little spread out. Yep. So that's pretty good. There's about 5 of us the same
on the
age.
first date.
No, I was not going to kill him.
It was in the woods, so that's how spread out it is.
Yeah, well, we told them about that. But I was walking over there, and we were all going to go clam bake this car. So if you're not from New England, clam bake is also referred to as hot box. We're about to go hot box / clam bake. I prefer clam bake the car. So, again, this is the first time I got high. So we were in there, we were smoking a bowl. And it was just getting passed around. We had the doors closed, windows up, obviously. And then the whole time, mind you, this is the first time I'm feeling being high. I'm like fighting it. So I'm just like physically fighting myself internally, like trying not to be high. And I'm just sitting there like rocking back and forth, like just trying to snap myself out of it. Like, no, like I'm not high.
No.
And so I'm just sitting there. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know. Because I was doing that, I started getting nauseous. I was like, guys, I got to open the door. And I was with like 4 other people. And they're like, no, don't open the door. I was like, guys, I have to open the door. And they're like, fine. So I opened the door and I felt a little bit better. But then I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck. And they're like, what? I was like, my clothes. And they're like, what? And they all started laughing. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there because I know my mom is, is going to flip a fucking shit if she finds out. Yeah, if she finds out that I've been smoking. So I'm like freaking out at this point, fully high for the first time. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? And then my friend was like, okay, let's just go back to your house, go get in the shower. So I took a shower and she ate the shit out of my goldfish. And then I sprayed the shit out of my clothes with perfume. I don't know. I thought it was a little silly story.
No, did she eat your shit?
She ate my goldfish.
Whoa.
Isn't that fucked up? You know how much I love goldfish crackers. Did you think I meant a real goldfish?
Yeah, I literally thought that's
You're like, whoa, that bitch is crazy.
Yo, you got me there for a bit. I was like,
no,
what?
My goldfish crackers.
Oh, okay.
But still, you know how much I love my goldfish.
Yeah,
my goldfish. You
would kill someone for those.
My goldfish. All right, so without further ado,
you would definitely kill someone for a goldfish.
Any cheesy snack, really. I love cheese.
I like cheese too on certain things.
Cheez-Its, Cheetos.
Those are too
goldfish,
cheesy.
Ruffles, sour cream and cheddar.
All right.
Doritos. I could keep going.
Making me hungry here.
So without further ado, we're just gonna dive right into Aileen Wuornos Part 3.
Dive right in.
And unfortunately, it is a 4-parter.
Goddamn.
I know. We have this part and the next part left. The next part is the trial. This is the remainder of her victims, I promise. Now, where we left you last time is that Aileen, and most definitely Tyria, were getting out of Peter Sim's car after they crashed it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember they crashed into the gate, the tires went phew, and then they walked off. And then she was yelling at the EMTs.
Yeah.
So at this point, we're going to finish up with her victims in this part. And the next one will be the investigation in the trial. For sure, because I finished all her victims. There's nothing left.
Jeez.
Yeah. There's a lot. And obviously I want to give the victims like some sort of recognition.
It's a pretty traumatic experience.
Yeah, and I feel like all their victims deserve to be remembered, even if
even if it was a stranger.
Yeah, right, exactly. And
everyone's human.
Right, and I think that if we're going to talk about Aileen and about the shit that she did, I think that it's more than important to talk about the victims and themselves a little, like at least a little bit about their lives.
Yeah, I agree.
So when the police found the vehicle that they crashed, they ran the VIN, found out it was Peter's, and in the vehicle they found bloody prints and blood stains on the seats and on the door handles. They also found beer cans, cigarettes, and 2 beverage cozies from a Speedway truck stop off of I-75. And
so many random things.
Yeah. But do you know whose area I-75 is, Ozzy?
Who?
Aileen Wuornos.
Dun, dun, dun.
Mm-hmm. They also found a bottle of Windex from a store in Georgia.
So many random things in that car.
Mm-hmm. So obviously they were worried because Peter never went back home, and they found his car, and it was a little suspicious because of the blood. So the police had also gotten a composite of 2 women that crashed the vehicle from the neighbors, and with that bottle of Windex, they went out to the store in Georgia and showed them the composite, which we'll post, and they were like, "Oh, do you recognize these people?" And I mean, the composite, I don't think you can look it up if you want right now. The composite, I don't think is very good.
The composite?
The composite sketch of Aileen Wuornos in Tyria.
Take a look here.
Yeah, you can take a look, and I'll keep going. So they're like, yeah, that kind of looks like them, but it's kind of hard to tell because of the composite sketch
Of Aileen Wuornos?
In Tyria. So, but the clerk said that they were 2 white women, and
Talia?
Tyria.
Tyria.
Tyria. They matched Tyria and Lee's description. However, Tyria says that she never went to Atlanta with Lee. And that's something that you'll see too with the next part, is that Tyria could do no wrong, apparently. Like, she didn't have anything to do with it. Lee denied that she had anything to do with it, and Tyria herself said that she had nothing to do with it. But what the evidence says is something different, and says that she knew what was going on.
Is she still alive? Sounds like this looks like a fat boy.
That's Tyria.
That looks like a fat boy.
Mm.
That's pretty bad.
Look at Aileen.
Aileen looks like a regular Angelica. Angelica lookalike.
No, she looks like Cynthia
from the Rugrats, by the way, guys.
Yeah, I don't think that sketch really looked like her. So they showed that to them, and they're like, I guess it kind of looked like that, yeah. But it's kind of hard, like, I feel like that doesn't really look like her.
Not even close.
No. But anyway, so they had assumed with that information about the Windex, with the 2 women going in there, that Peter picked up both Lee and Tyria and drove them up to Georgia together, and then they killed Peter before or after they stopped at the store. I would think that it's after, because why else would they need the Windex before if they weren't trying to clean up their mess from killing him?
The bloodstains. Right,
exactly. So I think that was probably after. And at this point, police had sent out all the information that they had gathered up, and the composite sketch and a small amount of the case to the Florida Criminal Activity Bulletin. And guess what they didn't do, though?
Check under the seat.
They didn't run the prints that were in the car in their own database, but they sent it out to other people.
Reverse.
Why wouldn't you run it in your own shit first?
Yeah, especially at in-house. Yeah, like you're there.
They honestly could have prevented so many murders just by doing that.
Yep. People don't think, man.
You gotta go through your shit first. Then if you get nothing, then you go out. Like, that's common sense in my opinion. Especially back in the day when it wasn't like this national database of everything. It was all like individual police departments, you know?
Yeah, and you had to like literally physically go out and look for someone.
Yeah.
It's not like nowadays.
Yeah.
Cameras and everything.
Yeah, honestly. It's just crazy that they didn't do that. But let's talk about her next victim after Peter. And that was Eugene Burress. And Burress.
Oh, I thought you said breast.
No, Burress.
Okay, then it's not sexual.
Less sexual, not breast. He was 50 years old and he had the gift of gab, which was perfect because he was a sales associate for a for a sausage company in Ocala. He was selling that sausage.
He was selling the sausage.
The sausages.
Oh, what's it? That kielbasa?
He was selling that kielbasa.
Damn,
Ew.
girl.
Ew. But yeah, you have to, in order to be a good salesperson, you have to have the gift of gab. So clearly he had it. Mm-hmm. Slinging that sausage. So he had previously owned a pool cleaning company in Boca Raton. However, the company had failed and he moved to Ocala with his wife.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. But he had a job at the sausages. So one day he was out on the road because he was a traveling sales associate, and he was slinging the sausage, and he was headed for Salt Springs for his sales. I'm doing the eyebrow wiggle at Ozzy. You guys can't see it.
No, you can't.
You want the sausage? So the day goes on and, he does his deliveries, but then he doesn't come back to the office. So his manager was immediately concerned because if something was wrong, he would have called, and maybe she started thinking, well, like maybe something's wrong and he can't get to a phone. I gotta go look for him. So she starts calling like the deliveries that he made throughout the day and found out that he didn't make it to his last delivery, in Salt Springs. So she went out and started looking for him. What an amazing manager.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, so she must have told his wife too, because
no manager will do that nowadays.
Yeah, no. So, but honestly, that's how I will, if something happens to both of us, that's how my job will find out I didn't show up, and that's not like me.
I wish I can say the same.
No, I think they thought that you were dead. You didn't show up. You were late by 2 minutes. They were like, oh, we thought you quit.
That is true, but I really think they didn't mean it.
I think they did. In any case, we all need managers like this manager. And because
there's only a few ones out there.
Yeah, honestly. So Rose, at 2 a.m. the next morning, reported him missing, and police jumped on hunting for him right away.
Damn.
Yeah.
He was on the hunt.
At 4 a.m., just 2 hours later, police found the delivery van on the side of the highway, 20 miles outside of Ocala. And outside the van, the van was locked, but outside of it, he was nowhere to be found until 5 days later when a family was out on a picnic and happened upon his body.
Oh.
What a fucking terrible picnic, bro.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Could you imagine? You're just out at a picnic with your family and you find a body? Yo. I'd be like, that's it. No more picnics ever.
I mean, I've never seen a
5 days Florida heat decomp?
That's gotta stink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's you start seeing bones and shit, probably.
Maybe.
Ugh.
All right.
I freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like I've never seen a dead body, but like that, like
honestly.
I'd freak the fuck out. I'd be like, oh fuck, like, and just fucking run away and call the cops or something.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sure that's what they did.
I wouldn't like. I know probably some people would be like, oh shit, like just stare at it. Like it all depends on the person, I guess.
Yeah.
Because some people can look at death and be like, whatever. Like my brother can just be like, whatever.
Yeah, but that's kind of sad.
Because that's
his job. Yeah.
But there's people that freak out about it, So it's like, it all depends on the person.
Yeah.
For me, it'd be like freaking me out, but I'd be like, oh shit, like, But knock on wood, it hasn't happened yet, so.
Yeah. Ugh. So, obviously, they couldn't identify that body right away, but they did later identify it as Eugene Burress. He had died from 2 gunshot wounds, and the clipboard from the van was also near his body, detailing his deliveries for the day.
Damn.
Yep. So Lee's account, again, we only have her side here, was that she was defending herself.
As any criminal. I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. It's in self-defense.
You need to sint.
So she said that he had attacked her, pulled out a $10 bill and said, "This is all you fucking deserve, you fucking whore." Doubt it. And then according to her, she said, "Wait," and he threw the money down, and she was standing in front of the van when he came at her, and he obviously didn't assume that she had a gun on her, but
Jamie's got a gun.
She stays strapped, bro. She is strapped.
Jamie's got a gun.
So they began fighting. She ran to the back of the truck, grabbed her gun. Somehow she got away from him, allegedly. She kicked him or something, allegedly yelled, "You bastard," allegedly, and shot him in the stomach. And then when he turned to run away, she shot him in the back.
Damn.
How can you claim self-defense if he's running away? Are you dumb? Bitch, are you dumb?
Jeez, if you guys can actually see the hand motions
I'm
right
clapping,
now, like
but
she's
not
like
clapping.
but
I'm
like
not.
silent clapping.
Are you dumb,
Like,
bitch? Are you dumb? Yeah.
Are you
It's not.
Are you dumb?
Let me tell
Are
you
dumb?
what. If somebody is running away from you, that goes away. The self-defense goes away. Because now they're running away from you. You're shooting them in the back. They're no longer a fucking threat. They're running. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
You tell him, babe. You tell him.
I will.
Girl.
Okay? Don't get into a fight with me. It's nasty.
Okay.
It gets nasty.
Send help. Please.
Please help.
Help.
So we are going to talk about one that is not...
I'm not joking.
We're going to talk about a person.
A person?
Yeah, a person.
Okay.
That is not officially attributed to her. Attributed to her. Because he's just not. But...
Oh, it's a he?
But she fucking killed this man's... Like, his sister thinks so.
What is she, like a John Wick?
Aileen?
Yeah.
Apparently.
I got people with places.
Yeah. So the reason why we think this is because, first of all, his sister is like kind of spot on. Like, she saw some of his items in her storage locker later down the road, and she petitioned to have him listed as one of her victims, and they still haven't found his body either, just like Peter.
Damn.
Yep. So
She's
his
pretty good
name
at hide
was
and seek, then.
Huh?
She's pretty good at hide and seek, then.
I don't know. Like, she's. I don't really like her.
I wish I could laugh. I slapped my own knee.
So Lee kind of got away with this one because of shoddy police work. Like, they didn't really do much. So this case, his name was Curtis Reed, but his family called him Corky.
Quirky.
Yeah, which is so cute. And his sister was a really big advocate for saying that Aileen did this. So he was a senior engineer at Cape Canaveral, and he had been through like a lot of bad shit. Like this poor dude, he had fallen from 6 stories, but survived.
What is he, Superman?
Apparently.
Jeez.
But he was
ladies and gentlemen, we got the live in action Superman here.
Except for the fact that he was seriously injured. I retract my statement. So he was taken care of by his sister Deanie and her husband, but he was still like able to like live and work and stuff. So on September 6th of 1990, Corky had just cashed his check and was going to visit his friend Ray in Cocoa Beach. And then he had a doctor's appointment, and then he was going to go see his mom. And he left the house, gave his sister Deanie a kiss on the cheek, said goodbye, and then she never saw him again. 3 days went by until Corky's sister received a call from their mom saying Corky didn't come to see me. Like, he didn't come and visit. So at first she wasn't too worried about it, because he's an adult and he can do what he wants.
I do what I want.
Exactly. And
wherever I want.
Okay. Ozzy is at so he has levels of high, and level 1 is just sitting there quiet. Level 2 is
I'm pretty sad that
level 3
I'm pretty mad that
asleep.
I'm no.
And level 4 is asleep, and then the rebound, which is what just happened.
I'm pretty mad that you put levels of me, really?
I just gave them all.
I don't even do that to you.
Because I have a higher tolerance than you. I could outsmoke you any day.
You wanna go?
Yes.
Go outside?
Let's go outside. It's nice out there.
We'll be back.
All right. So at first, his sister wasn't too worried about it. He's an adult until Monday, when Corky's secretary at work called her and said, hey, Corky didn't come in for his shift.
Corky.
At this point, his sister went over to his house immediately, and there was no sign of him and no sign of his car. So she and her husband had called the cops, and they were told they have to wait 72 hours before filing a missing persons report. And at this point, I think
that's a pretty wild law.
It's not a law, and that's actually what I have in the notes here. Just to mention this real quick, they were at 48 hours at this point, but you don't have to wait 72 hours. You do not. You just have to be persistent and continue to push and get the police to hear you. You do not. That is not a law. It's not a law.
I thought it was a law.
No, this is something I'm very passionate about. If I go fucking missing, you yell at them until they look for me.
Okay.
You insist, and you get everybody to insist that this is not my normal pattern, that I do keep in contact with pretty much you, and I would answer Dad if it was an emergency. Make sure they know that this is not my normal pattern, and they come looking for me.
Okay.
Yes. I'm just telling you what to do.
Is there something I should know?
Yes, don't listen to their 72-hour bullshit.
More is someone gonna kidnap you?
I don't know. That'd be really ballsy of them, because I hit hard. Try me.
We'll be back after these messages.
Brought to you by these hands.
Oh, I was gonna say Trojan.
So obviously she believed that they had to wait the 72 hours because that's what you think is actually a pretty common misconception. That's why I wanted to make it a very...
I was gonna say, goddamn, that's a pretty wild law.
Yeah, it's a misconception, and I think it's very important that everybody needs to know that that is a misconception. If you can prove that this is not normal for them, do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. And
just do it.
The more annoying you are, unfortunately, they're gonna listen.
I feel like there's only a select few would know I'm missing or some shit.
Definitely me, and definitely Carl. Definitely your mom. Your mom talks to you every day.
Yeah, and my brother, ish.
Yeah. Yeah. So in any case, they didn't wait the full 72 hours before they started looking on their own. And they started printing out flyers, and they, canvassed the neighborhood and got people looking for him, and nobody found him. So a few days later, his car was found in a parking lot near I-95 in Deanie, which is his sister, was notified. And when she arrived, she thought that she was going to be meeting the police because she had received the call, but it ended up being the security guard for a parking lot. And he had let them know that he was concerned because the vehicle had been there for a couple of days. Police were informed, but they did nothing.
But like, you should have known, if you were like the security of the parking lot, you should have known what car is what every day, almost.
Right, so that's why he was concerned. Yeah. So she called the police and like notified them, but they didn't come get the car. They didn't do anything. They didn't run prints, they didn't do anything. So she was like, okay, like, I guess I'll drive it back. So she drove it back and like tried to preserve everything that was in the car. And then when she got the car home, that's when she started looking through the vehicle, and she found the keys, obviously, and the keys to his job on the floor. She also found a torn condom pack, a couple of cigarette cartons, a box of Camels and Marlboros, and the car was trashed. So the glove box had nothing in it. His toolbox was gone, and the driver's seat had been pulled forward, again showing that someone shorter than Corky had to have been driving the car.
Which was Aileen at that point.
So, like I had already mentioned, like Peter, Corky has never been found. So,
Hide and seek.
So Deanie had tried to call the police again with all the information regarding her brother's case, but no one ever got back to her until she called the Attorney General, which is basically like, let me speak to your manager.
Karen.
Literally.
Let me speak to your manager.
Right, so she was getting mad, and like I told you, like some of Corky's belongings were found in Lee's stuff like later down the road, and we're going to circle back to that and talk more about that, but this has never been officially ruled to be Aileen Wuornos' like victim, but like he fits persona. The profile.
Like signature kill.
Yeah, it's like something she would do, and I think that, she did, especially because she had his stuff, but the police...
Well, she also learned how to play the system.
Yeah, and the police, like, didn't look into it.
Right.
So, let's go back to Lee and Tyria again. So, we talked about them a lot more last episode, and we said they were fighting all the time already at this point. They were living motel. They were pretty much living everywhere. Doesn't matter. And they had been together for a little, like, almost 2 years now, and Lee was making about $300 every other week, and according to her, Tyria was always wanting more. When they were renting motels, Tyria always wanted one with a pool so that way she could stay occupied. She always wanted a new car, or she wanted a rented one. She
wanted the bougie stuff.
Yeah, she wanted clothes, she wanted nice furniture, she wanted everything. So Lee was saying that she was also giving Tyria most of the money that she had made, and a specific example that she said is that every time she would make $130, $100 would go to Tyria and she would keep $30.
Damn.
Yeah. So literally, like, almost all of her money.
Like, just stealing basically off of her.
Just living off of Lee. And at this point, it's like Tyria just seems to be like getting sick of Lee and is just like leeching off of her because she's taking advantage of the fact that Lee would literally do anything for her.
And now she's basically growing a spine.
So I just wanted to mention that, just bring that there a little bit. But then after Corky, it goes to her next victim, Charles Humphreys. So Charles lived in Crystal River, right in Lee's territory, and he was 56 years old, and he used to be a police chief, but at the time of his death, he was an investigator that specialized in protecting abused and injured children, which I can't even imagine dealing with that.
Yeah.
That's really hard. If I were to be a detective,
you gotta be psychologically hard to deal with that.
Yeah, I couldn't. I feel like I would cry all day.
It would enrage me to find the person that's did stuff to those children.
I would just cry all day. I am so empathetic. Like, I would be crying.
I'd probably go to prison.
Yeah. We both couldn't do that job.
Nope.
No. But he was also a father, so I can imagine that would be 10 times harder.
Yeah.
And he had a wife, her name was Shirley, and he loved her, and she had battled with cancer. But the most important thing to her, and that he did, was he always stuck to his schedule. So He always came home about 6:10 every single day. And so when he didn't come home at 6:30, she thought, okay, maybe he's having car trouble. But then at 7, when he still didn't come home, she was like, maybe he stopped somewhere. But at 8, she was like, okay, nah, this is not like him at all. It's almost 2 hours after his normal time coming home.
I feel like you would be like that.
Yeah, I would be too. Like if you had told me like you were going to the gym, and then I know at the latest I should expect you home is like 8, 9. But if it was like 10, you still weren't home and weren't answering me. 11, midnight, yes, I'd be going to the gym myself. Be like, where are you?
Yeah.
And if I saw you weren't there, then I'd be like calling your shit. And then if I still didn't get an answer by like 1, I'd be calling the cops.
She has it all planned out, guys.
Where the fuck did my husband go?
Should we go John Wick?
Where
is my husband?
Don't kill my puppy.
Oh, she'll go psycho on you. You like the Facebook emoji with the little upside down face? That's
I
her.
use that when I'm being like really mean.
Yeah, that's her.
I'm like, okay, bitch, and with the upside down face.
I just send her gifts of the owl turning its head upside down. Don't. So, yes, I would be like Shirley. I'd be a little freaked out. Because you also stick to a schedule. I mean, it's not like every day is not the same. Obviously, you get out at different times. But you're very communicative of when you're getting out. So, like, if you didn't come home, that I'd be really worried. Especially because we live very close to where you work. So anyways, she called Highway Patrol. And the police started searching for him immediately. Do you notice the difference here? He was a police chief. Corky was not. But wasn't he a highway patrol, you just said?
Yeah, he used to be a police chief, and Shirley, his wife, called highway patrol.
Oh, okay.
So they looked for him immediately. With Corky, they didn't fucking move because the 72-hour thing is bullshit. She waited 2 hours and they were already out looking for him.
Damn. Was it like Silver Spoon maybe?
It's because he was a retired police chief.
Oh. We gotta take care of our homies, basically. That's fucked up.
So Shirley continued to wait for information regarding her husband, but police had shown up and let her and her son know that they had found his body. It was found on September 11th, extremely close to where David Spears and Charles Carskadon's car had been found.
Damn.
When they found Charles's body, he was shot 7 times with Lee's signature
shit,
22.
7 times?
7. In
the head or in the body?
Mostly in the body. I don't think she never really shot people in the head.
Oh damn! So like she made him suffer. Damn, 7 times. It's like almost like 50 Cent over here. Except he got shot 7 times in my chest. I got no bars, guys.
It's alright.
No bars.
None at all. So how did he get to where his body was found, you might ask?
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad you asked. So, I feel like that's a joke my grandpa would make. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah. With the little cute hat. I'm
so
glad
cute.
you asked.
His little fishing hat.
Yep.
It's so cute. He's always worn that hat.
He's an awesome guy.
So they know that he left his office and he was driving to his home in Crystal River when he stopped to give a blonde woman a ride around 4 p.m. at the EMRO store in Wildwood. Clerk inside had remembered 2 women buying beer and that they looked like Tyria and Lee. Coincidence. But Tyria has nothing to do with it. Still.
Even though you're hanging out with them.
Whatever. So she wasn't able to tell who they got into the car with because she couldn't see, and also like that was illegal to pick up prostitutes at truck stops.
I think it still is.
I think so too. But she had known that it was a male, and which was Charles, and obviously this was the ride to his death.
Yeah.
So again,
bye, homie.
Yeah, Lee said that.
Hope the sex was worth it because you died.
I doubt that he even got any, honestly. So Tyria claims innocence. She says she doesn't know anything about what Lee ever did. Never, ever. And she wasn't in the car.
Never,
and she would do these things. And when questioned later, she said that she had never, ever met Charles and couldn't say where she was, though, that day.
Sketchballs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I honestly think, and it's interesting because when we get into the trial, Tyria has a lot to do with, like, Lee, has a lot to say about Lee, but claims innocence, and Lee says that she's innocent. And there's calls of, like, they're recorded calls, like, Lee is saying, should I tell them everything? And Tyria is like, yeah, you should tell them everything. You should tell them.
So it's like almost like she's keeping a secret from everything.
Right, but Tyria knows. But she just says that she doesn't. I don't know. But then why are the two of them together in Georgia? Why are the two of them together at this fucking truck stop that this guy goes missing from?
Well, they know each other.
Oh. Anyway.
they know each other.
Yeah, apparently. So now we're going to discuss a run-in that she had that most likely would have been a victim. And then her last victim, and then that's it for this episode. And then the next one is
the final
chapter.
The final countdown.
Hope I don't get copyrighted. Or whatever it is.
Yeah, copyrighted.
So her run-in that she had, this was November of 1990, so this is over a year now from when she first started her killing spree. She ran into a trucker named Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby.
Bobby?
Oh.
Bobby Lee Copus. And he was driving his car home from Lakeland to Orlando to go pay his insurance bill.
Propane accessories.
He was going to pay off his propane and propane accessories. Bobby. No, so he's going to pay his insurance bill, and I am so glad that we don't have to go anywhere anymore to pay bills. We can do it all online.
Seriously.
The luxuries of modern technology.
We have to get the cash out. You gotta give exact amounts. That was annoying.
Exactly.
And then you gotta get money orders.
Yeah, or you literally go in there with cash.
Yeah.
So he was a bigger dude, and he pulled into the truck stop near Haines City, and he met, guess who?
Aileen Wuornos.
Oh, yes. Who said that she needed a ride to Orlando to go to go see her sister. And then when she was there, she would call her sister for a ride.
They go to Disneyland.
No, she was trying to go to Daytona. So when she got to Orlando, she would call her sister to hitchhike the rest of the way to Daytona. And he agreed, and she got into the car. So Bobby went to his bank from there because he was just getting gas. So he went to his bank from there, pulled out $4,000 for his insurance bill. In cash. That's a lot of fucking money for an insurance bill. What were you insuring, Bobby?
Damn.
What were you insuring? That's more than our house.
Yeah, literally.
And our car insurance.
That's a lot.
And our health insurance. Bobby, what
maybe he had like
doing?
A treasure underneath the house.
Maybe he had maybe he's paying it like yearly or something for everything.
Maybe like the premiums and stuff.
Yeah, like a yearly. Okay, that I can see, Bobby.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Bobby.
You gotta give them a benefit of a doubt.
I'm giving it to him. I'm giving it to him.
But
still,
just because we're guys, yeah. We're all human.
Well, I just want to know why he was paying so much. Did you shop your rates? I don't think you did, Bobby.
Who did you go with so I can go with that?
Yeah, you need to use a different broker. Anywho. So he took the money out and he tucked it into his visor. So Lee saw this and said, bet.
That's it? Just bet?
Bet. No. She said, oh shit, that's a lot of money up there you put up there. Huh, Bobby, huh?
So you're saying by bet is something you would say?
No, she's like, bet I'm gonna get that money.
What was that little hesitation there?
No, because I wouldn't say, bet I'm about to kill this motherfucker for that money.
I'm giving her that meme with the duck face and that thing.
Why you always lying? Why the fuck you lying?
Yep.
And so, she saw this money and she was like, okay, I'm gonna run my scheme right now. So she's like, yo, you want a blowjob? I could give you really good sex. You want some? You want some fuck?
Sounds like the scene of the Squid Games.
Yeah. So basically, like, yo, we can,
We
for
can
$100, I'll do some shit.
We can
And
fuck.
he was like, no, I'm happily married. I'm all set. And you fucking nasty bitch. So, not really, but he was like, no, I'm okay. Thank you. And she's like, no, let's pull over. Let's pull over into that orange grove over there.
Damn.
And, he was like, no thanks.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. So he was no dummy though. So she reached into her bag for a comb, and when she did that, he saw in her bag that she had a gun. So she was like,
Jamie's got a gun.
and she was getting really pissed. So like everything's a gun compartment for it. Like gun compartment, there's her gun. So he was like,
So
you know what?
basically, her whole house was like gun compartments after gun compartments.
It's just her bag is always loaded, apparently.
Hmm.
So he stops at like the next rest stop and he's like, here, I'm gonna give you $5. You go call your sister and let her know like we're getting close. And she's like, okay. So she gets out of the car. As soon as she gets out of the car, he fucking locks the doors and takes off. And she fucking comes after that car running, fucking pissed. She's pissed. She's like, where are you going? Because
T1000
she's about to get 4
something.
Gs, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, so she's pissed because she was trying to kill him for that money for fucking sure. For fucking sure.
Jeez.
Yeah. So
That's expensive.
Yo, $4,000 is a lot of money.
Jesus.
Yeah, so she was trying to get that bag, but then that did not work.
That's expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I could never.
I told you, shop your rates.
I could never. 15% on Geico.
This is not an ad.
This is not an ad.
We don't even use Geico anymore.
Nope. It doesn't matter what we use.
No, it doesn't, but it's not Geico. So at this point, what people think was the same day of Bobby running off on her, she meets a man named Walter Gino Antonio.
Sounds like Fabio.
He was a trucker.
Fabio.
He was a trucker who was also a reserve police officer in Brevard County.
Okay.
When he met up with her, he was driving to Alabama looking for a job. He was recently engaged and he was wearing a nice gold band with diamonds in it from his fiance. This will come back later.
90s.
That'll come back later. He was driving up I-75, and obviously, as we said, in anywhere in Florida, you have to go up depending on where you live. You pretty much have to go up unless you live like in the Panhandle. And then he wasn't seen again. So his body was recovered on November 18th, the day after he went missing, and he was completely naked except for a pair of socks, and he was shot 4 times with, do you want to guess?
Ugh, shot and naked? Oh, man.
Do you want to guess what he was shot with? 22.
Oof.
Per usual, that's Lee's bullshit signature is a 22. So after Lee killed him,
huh? Same punishment
to everyone.
Oof.
So after she killed him,
I kill people.
she does kill a lot of
But then
people.
I know how to play the system and I get away with it.
Well, the good thing is that the next part is her coming to justice, so she doesn't get away with it forever and ever.
Oh, it always
comes to an end.
It's all fun and games.
Until this bitch got caught. So she drove the car back to a motel where she went inside and asked the manager if she could leave her boyfriend's car behind the building and left it there for a few days. A couple of days later, the vehicle was found on November 24th in a wooded area. The tags and keys were missing. A piece of paper had been put over the VIN and the doors were locked. Also around the vehicle.
Oh, yeah, that would be the smart thing to do. Block the VIN.
Right. So around the vehicle, there were also Budweiser cans, all of which had been wiped clean of prints. So Walter's fiance at the time had provided police with a list of things that had been in the car, which included handcuffs, his badge, a club, a flashlight, a watch, his suitcase, a toolbox, and a baseball cap. When police searched the vehicle, every single one of those items was missing.
Every single one?
Yeah, all of it was gone.
Jesus.
Yeah. And that ring that he was wearing, also missing. His ID and clothes were found.
Robbed the shit out of him.
Yeah, Lee did not fuck around.
Goddamn. Damn.
Yep. So his ID.
Left them with nothing.
Literally nothing. But the good thing about this one is pretty much Lee is guaranteed to be on loan for this. So Tyra can claim that she's innocent for this one. But his ID and clothes were found in another wooded area separate from where his body and car were found. According to Lee, Walter pulled up to her and she asked him if he wanted to help her make her money.
Unzips pants.
Yeah. But then he pulled out his badge and then was like...
I literally thought you were going to say he pulled it out and...
No. But then he pulled out his badge and then he made a threat to arrest her unless she had sex with him for free. So he's like, I'll arrest your ass if you don't fuck me right now, bitch.
Damn.
That's according to her. I don't believe that actually, but but she also didn't think that he was actually a police officer.
It's like a porn scene.
Yeah. And she got in the car and then she shot him because he called her a cunt allegedly, and then she called him a bastard and shot him again 2 times.
So
and
he got shot a total of 3 times?
2 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I would just like to take a quick second and remind you that all of this stuff in the past 2 parts has been in the past over like a year and a half. Over a year and a half span. She's killed mad fucking people, probably people that aren't even on this list. Robbing bitches.
She knows how to play the game.
She murdered so many dudes. So this is where I'm calling it. The next part is the investigation. And that's it. And we're done.
But she knows how to play the game. You really can't blame her for that.
Fuck her. I know
that you hate her. She's starting to show the hate. But it's like, dude, she knows how to play the system. And unfortunately, that's how it is in real life.
She got lucky. Because honestly, if DNA evidence is what it is today, she would have been caught in the first 5 minutes.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. To get those Budweiser cans, they would have swabbed that shit. Oh, look, there's Budweiser cans in all of these places. Let's swab these motherfuckers. Oh, wow, look, it's the same bitch all over the place.
Sounds like she knows her shit.
Even if they didn't have her DNA, which they would have because she's been arrested mad times.
If you know anyone that can help me, please call 1-800 joke that hoe. It will link me to my phone and just help me. All right. My phone will literally say, joke that hoe.
No, but seriously, though. Seriously, because when she was arrested in the beginning, they would have had her fingerprints already. That would have been put in APHIS. Every place could have run her prints and found out that she'd been arrested elsewhere. Then, also, the DNA. If she was convicted felon, which she was, they would have took her DNA. And that's entered into CODIS, which is a national database for DNA.
So we're all coded?
No, only if you are a felon. Are you a felon?
No. Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Well, that's good. Okay. I'm sure you've accidentally convicted. I don't know. I've never convicted it.
Hell no. Done a felony. You fucking crazy. I'm a goody 2-shoes over here.
No, I don't think I have. No. Never did a felony, I don't think.
I've never done nothing.
But anyway.
I was never even in trouble with the law.
Yeah.
The law listened to me.
But no, honestly. And then they swabbed those those cans for DNA after she was convicted as a felon. Yeah, like a COVID test.
Jeez.
Then that bitch would have been caught mad time ago. She would never have gotten away with this shit if it were today. She only got away with it because police departments don't communicate with each other. Police departments weren't running their shit through their own system and all of that. And then just no DNA technology
it's
was
okay. You could have said meddling kids.
Those damn meddling kids.
Thank you.
That's it. And if DNA technology was what it was now, she would have been caught. Anywho, that's it for today. If you want to find us on anything.
Next episode is what?
That's it. That's
the
it.
Trial?
The trial.
How
the investigation. Yes, I'm going to do the investigation, the trial, all of it.
Damn.
Yep.
I really hope it's an exciting caught versus a blame
Actually,
I was expecting you guys.
I did not mention this and I need to speak with them about it, but my coworker said that his aunt was one of the arresting officers on that case. Isn't that pretty cool?
Well, what are you waiting for? Reporter
Well,
Oswaldo.
I asked him, and he said that we can get into a little bit more next time, but he said that basically they were treating her so awful. Like, when they arrested her, everybody was being so mean to her. But, like, she's a murderer, and it wasn't all in self-defense. I can tell you that much. Alright, anyway, if you'd like us and like this episode, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at
Kush Crime.
If you like us and would like to support us in our hobby and want more content, you can follow us and support us
we've been asked so many
on
contents.
Patreon.
Like a bunch of times.
If you want more content, go on patreon.com/.
Kush Crime.
And sign up. If multiple people sign up for our top tier, then we will do a smoke sesh with all of you in the tier. And you can talk to us and ask us questions. All right, well, we hope you keep listening to us, and we hope you stay lit. Oh, bye.
Bye.